one of the two of Italy's home races. One time it is Monza and the other time it is Imola. And for Imola in Division 1 for season 15, this is round number 11, the penultimate round of this beautiful season 15 we've had so far in Division 1 for F1 Total. Welcome back everyone, I am Base Gabri, your commentator, and as you can see we are here at the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari in Italy, in Imola. As I said, penultimate race of the season, and we can see, just so you know, apologies for my voices, is getting rusty in these days, but hopefully it's not gonna slow us down. But anyway, as you can see, 15 cars on the grid, so almost a full grid, just a few cars missing. But crucially, out of all of the cars, all of the drivers that are missing, our two main championship contenders, Cat Racer and Felix, they both are not racing tonight. So it will go down to the last round in Brazil next week. Still wide open between the two, both fighting for their 5th title in their career here in F1 Total, and it is gonna be decided at the beautiful track of Interlagos in Brazil next week. But for now, we will enjoy Imola, as we can see now, and the thing is, I have absolutely no idea of who is gonna win, because in this season, Cat Racer has won 5 races out of the 8 races he's attended. Yes, 5 out of 8 races he has won them, and he's leading the championship, despite Felix attending all of 10 races so far and finishing on the podium in every single one of these races, but he still hasn't got a single race win. His last win dates back to season 14, but other than that, all of the other drivers who have won a race they only won once. We have Jeremy winning round 1, we have Edwin winning round 6, Baz Martirisi, a new driver in Ferrari last week in Mexico. It wasn't streamed, unfortunately. He won a race too, and then Niall, he won reserving for Red Bull in Monaco a few weeks ago. But yeah, Cat Racer still has the record for most wins this season, and he is still enjoying this not so comfortable gap. It's only 13 points at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, Felix is gonna have to gain 13 points, not in 2 races, but in 1 race. So you're gonna have to hope that Felix, that either he wins the race, and Cat Racer finishes 5th. Because if Felix doesn't win, then Cat Racer will need to drop a lot of places for Felix to win the championship. But we know league racing, it is one of the most unpredictable shows you'll ever see online, so it will be very fun. In the meanwhile, Edwin has just finished his first lap and he's just completely creating new lines through the gravel, arguably taking the Ayrton Senna line through Tamburello. That was a large joke. Always in action, 16.1 and 17.4, quite a big gap between the two McLaren teammates. Alex is very close to Edwin, but Givodar, a new driver for Red Bull. I'm not sure if he raced last week in Mexico. I wasn't there, so I can't know for certain. But it's the first time I've seen him race, and at the time, right now, he is on provisional pole position with a 14.2, so already 8 times clear off of Edwin. We just enable there we go. We also have other new faces, Gogaria, for example. I think he's reserving for Ricard, but I'm not sure if he's a main driver. Can't remember, to be honest. But but yeah, another new face. And other than that, is the grid that we've always known all season long, except for the 2 main contenders. But I am sure it would be a very interesting race nonetheless. Google even invalidates through Acque Minerali, the chicane, going from turn 11 to turn 13, going uphill. Imola is a very well-known track for its infamous track limits. Very easy to go beyond them and very easy to invalidate your lap or to get a penalty. Sully is now in P5 and Shamol is in P4, just 3 thousandths ahead of him. Edwin just barely 10 thousandths ahead of Alex. And look at that Phantom Fox, just 2 thousandths faster than Shamul. We've got 3 drivers in 5 thousandths of a second. And it's only the first part of qualifying. We still have 12 minutes to go, and the gaps are already that close. At least in the, I think, midfield, because we we have sadly the back markers, the two McLarens, if I have to be very honest. The midfield is very tight. We got the technically upper midfielder. I'm not sure if Edwin and Alex are gonna maintain P2 and 3. And then we got Giovedar, who at the moment is not really under threat for pole position. We have Kuko now in the Williams, going around Tosa, turn 7 uphill, and turn 8, now turn 9. Downshifting aggressively down to 4th gear. Now going through Acqua Minerali, still another uphill corner. 3rd gear, you really need to find a lot of traction and watch out to not invalidate your lap. Now Variante Alta, turn 14 and 15, another very difficult chicane as well, and Kuko just goes centimeters, if not millimeters, close to the white line, and his lap is still valid. 8th gear before Rivazza, before the penultimate corner. Now down into 3rd gear, 4th and 3rd again on the exit, turn 18, and now this slight king to the right, turn 19, and Kuko sets only a P7, just behind his fellow Italian. They're not teammates, but they're both Italian, so it's both their home race. It's the home race for me as a commentator, and the home race for Kuko and Sally as drivers. So, so yeah, they will definitely look forward to put a very brilliant performance tonight. But Kuko at the moment is at 10th and a half behind Sally. Another home race in the case of Ferrari. Well, Bazooka is German, but he's driving for the Italian team of Ferrari. Guga River is driving for an Italian team as well. Vicarb is indeed Italian. It dates back to his days as Minardi and Toro Rosso, and we know they're Italian. So yeah, it's another home race. We have PC Willy, who just completed his first sector on his first lap of the session, or maybe his first valid lap. I'm not sure if he invited his previous. But look at the difference in gears. Kuko took what's the corner called? Turn 9, Piratella. Kuko took it in 4th gear, and PC Willy took it in 6th. So you can really see the difference between the driving styles, and that's what makes the competition so close and so overall fun to race. PC Willy doesn't take as much track limits on the exit of Variante Alta, and doesn't go to 8th gear. He stays in 7th and stays in 4th on the exit. Let's see if this was actually the right way to complete a lap, and it definitely is, as he goes P2 and puts himself between Giovedar and Edwin, just 1/10 off of provisional pole position. So that driving style we've just analyzed and compared to Kuko, it is most definitely working out. Jonathan has invalidated and Jeremy has not. He is just behind Jonathan in terms of track position, not in terms of lap time, because they still need to complete the first laps. But Jeremy is really pushing through Acqua Minerali now. Stays in 4th gear, gonna happy. It takes a little bit of a slipstream from the recap of Jonathan ahead. Now let's see, for Variante Alta, down into 3rd gear. And you really need to abuse those track limits if you want the perfect racing liner, and you also need to be careful not to ride them too much, because otherwise you can bottom out. Jeremy in 3rd gear and stays in 4th gear for the last corner. And across the line, Jeremy sets 14.8, good enough for P4 and 5/10 off of pole position. What is Alex doing? Alex is not pushing. I don't know if he just completed a lap. I think he has, yes, he has improved because he's ahead of Edwin. So, didn't see that. Alex improved his previous time and he's just below 3/10 behind pole position. But it's good enough for a P3, and I think, well, he could be happy as of now because he just made his return to league racing just barely a month ago, a few weeks ago. So he's still building up on that skill he used to have in previous games, and he's settling in quite nicely. So I think he can be happy about that one. But the thing about racing is you cannot just accept any result. You always want to be at the top. So maybe we'll see if Alex pushes like a madman in the following laps. And there's still plenty of time to do that. 7 minutes and 45 seconds to the end of qualifying, and at the moment Givaudan hasn't tried another lap. He just seems comfortable in that position with that 14.2. Doesn't look like anyone is close to him at the moment except for PC Willy, but the thing is Givaudan only had one lap, so to be in pole position and maintain that pole position as your banker lap, it is quite impressive. But again, 7 minutes left to go, anything can happen. Edwin cuts the inside corner of Acqua Minerali too much, at turn 11 to be exact, and invalidates his lap, goes beyond the white line. Phantom Fox is on the out lap, making room for Bazooka, who is pushing for his first lap. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do at the team's home race. Seventh gear and stays flat through turn 11. Fourth gear for Acqua Minerali, 12 and 13. Now 14 15. Variante Alta stays in fourth and then in third at the second corner of the chicane. And it looks like a very solid exit, but it doesn't use as much energy, doesn't deploy as much. It does not use overtake. It's actually using none through this section, and that kind of slows it down. Now he's on hot lap, now he's on overtake, but I'm not sure if that energy management was good. And it's a P10, 15.7 and 5 tenths off of Cucco. Not really the way you want to manage your energy throughout a qualifying lap. I think Phantom Fox, yes, he has started just now. He has the Mercedes, a Mercedes ahead of him. I'm not sure who, it was Sully. Now Phantom Fox pushing through Tamburello. 6th, 7th gear. Now let's see the Variante Villeneuve actually in the 8th gear, but it doesn't take his shot, it's just a small lift, and in 5th gear on the exit, and it's an improvement of 3 tenths at the moment. Now going uphill, 3rd gear on the exit of Tosa, and now for turn 9, Piratella. He downshifts to 4th. It looks like a very fast downshift, like something AI will do. Not sure if you saw that as well. But anyway, 4th gear on the exit of Acqua Minerali, and he's improving by a tenth and a half, just over a tenth and a half, but invalidates. He goes over the white line too much on the inside of the chicane, and that's his lap done. But I do think he still has time to go back into the pits and try another time. Sully is on a double out lap, maybe? Maybe he's on the in lap, I'm not really sure. I can't see the fuel from here. Oh, I can, yeah, he's on the in lap. But his teammate Jeremy is on the out lap at the moment. What about Giga River? He has invalidated. Is he gonna go again, or is he gonna go? Whoa! He just completely straight lines the chicane to not lose time. Technically, that would be against the rules, but I don't recall seeing a penalty for cutting corners on the out lap in qualifying, or on the in lap or whatever. So at the moment, no one is pushing out on track, but we do have it's a Mercedes driver across the line. Yes, it is Jeremy. Jeremy pushing for probably his last lap of the session. There's still 4 minutes to go, but maybe this will be the good one. Let's see what Jeremy does. Braking at the 50-meter board for Variante Tamburello. Stays in 5th gear, and now 6th, 7th gear. Let's see what gear does he use for the first corner of Variante Villeneuve. Stays in 7th with a small lift, and in 5th on the exit, and he improves by almost a tenth and a half. Now 3rd gear going uphill into Tosa, and using a lot of the curb on the outside on the exit to get the perfect exit line. But now through Piratella, downshift into 6th gear. Can he allow to speed? But he goes too wide for the Mercedes driver, and he goes over the white line. It's an invalidated lap time for Jeremy, but if he can harvest his energy and save his tires, he could have a go for another one. Who else is pushing? Phantom Fox. Phantom Fox is pushing through Tamburello now, and takes a lot of curb on the inside of turn 2 especially. Actually turn 3, because the slacking on the right on the main straight should be... Oh, he almost took that first corner flat in 8th gear. And he's improving by 2 tenths. So he's looking very strong. But now, let's see, through Piratella for the Aston Martin driver. Now he stays in 6th gear. With an apex speed of around 240 km per hour. 4th gear for Acqua Minerali. Let's see, is he still improving? Yes, he is by 0.3. This could be good enough for P4 even. No, he invalidates, he cast the inside too much. And that's Variante Alta, catching off guard yet another driver with those track limits. And Fanza Fox, I am afraid he will start no better than P8. He needs to harvest a lot of energy. And his tires will be either too hot or too warm to have another good lap. Yeah, he goes back into the pits. Very unfortunate for Fanza Fox. He could improve up to P4, but he will no longer be able to improve, and that's a shame. Edwin is improving by 0.2. Still 0.2 after sector 2. 4th and then 3rd gear for Variante Alta. He has the Mercedes ahead of him, but he goes out of the way. Now the Haas of Edwin going downhill into Rivazza. 8th gear on entry, 4th gear on the apex, and on the exit as well. Doesn't use a lot of curb on the outside, but let's see, across the finish line, DRS enabled. Edwin stays in P7. Oh, he actually invalidated! He invalidated on the straight, just staying on the right as much as possible, and he goes over the white line, and that's his lap invalidated. Now Alex, Piswili and Givoda on the outlaps, they are in the fight for pole position. Let's see what Alex can do. 1 minute left to go into this qualifying session, and the lap time for pole position is 1:14.2. Alex will need to improve around 3/10, but he has a massive oversteer through Tamburello. I think he lost way too much time to improve there. He just kept oversteering through every single corner of that section. Yeah, he's down by 0.3. And Givodar, he knows that drivers behind him are trying to claim pole position out of his center, so he's not gonna just stand in the pits. He wants to go out on track to try and improve that, and he takes those curbs very, very nicely through Tamburello. Now this is Villeneuve. Downshifting into 6th gear actually, and almost lifting the throttle completely. He's actually down by 18 thousandths of a second, but I do think his first sector timer should still be the fastest. Now through Piratella, just a small touch on the brakes. 6th gear. Jonathan is crashed! Jonathan is crashed, yes, on the exit of Tamburello, exactly on the same point where Ayrton Senna crashed and, well, died. Exactly on the same point Jonathan crashed there. I'm not trying to imply something or anything, but just a coincidence, I guess. But now Gerda really pushing his car through Rivazza and just barely inside those track limits. He was very fast through Rivazza, now overtaking DRS on the straight, and he improves by a 10.5. It's a 1:14.155. But let's see what Piswili can do. He's not improving, he's down by 1/10 of a second, but can he find more time through sector 3? Stays in 3rd gear now, 4th gear for the exit. If he deploys the battery on the inside straight, the DRS is level. Can Piswili do it? No, he cannot. He does not even improve his time. He's lower by 93 thousandths of a second compared to his previous best, and overall 2.5 slower than pole position. But it is Givodar on the Red Bull on pole position here for the penultimate round of the season 15. He will start in P1 here in Imola, and PC Willy will still be on the front row with a beautiful chance to attack him, maybe even as early into turn 1. We're not sure how well that could end, but there is still a chance indeed. But Alex takes a very solid P3 and Shamul in P4, Jamie in P5, Kuku in P6, Sal in P7, Ed in P8, Fanzo in P9, Gogori in P10. Then we have Bazooka, always, Akshrink, Scafex and Jonathan, the bottom 5. At the moment starting the race outside of the points finishing position, but there will be many chances to improve that, to make up for it and try and score some good points. And anything could happen at Imola, even if you... The thing is, if you're very careful on not getting track limits penalties, because many drivers could get them, it's very easy to do so. If you just stay consistent and do not attack the track limits too much, you could gain a lot, and I mean a lot, of position. It's kind of like Canada. Canada and Imola are the two easiest tracks to gain positions if you don't get track limits, because it is so easy to get a penalty. Trust me, I've been through that. So yeah, but at the same time, the curbs, some of them are very unforgiving and could unsettle your car very easily. Maybe that's what happened to Jonathan. That's why he crashed on the exit of Tamburello. Maybe he got too much curb, but that's what the ideal racing line suggests you to do, to go on those curbs as much as possible, because that's where you gain time. But now the race is about to start. As you can see, it is completely dry, so beautiful weather in Italy. You should come visit Italy, because this is the weather you see during the races. Okay, but now the drivers have selected their strategies. They are on the grid, ready for the start. It is 5 red lights and it's lights out, and away you go here at the Imola Grand Prix. And Giovedar has a beautiful start on the softs, so choosing a very aggressive first stint. P2 cannot hold on to that P2 because Alex is already attacking him, but there's a massive crash. There's Edwin going onto the gravel, and there's an Alpine of Scarface going sideways, but Edwin has been demoted all the way down to last place with some heavy contact into the first chicane. Gugariva dropping places as he's already now battled with Jonathan and goes on the gravel. Always has to take avoiding action, so avoid running into the back of him, and some boards are completely getting destroyed. Edwin is also wing damage from that scrap into turn 1. He is missing, I think, the left end plate on his front wing, so he's gonna have reduced downforce. So it's already a chaotic race start here in Imola. But let's see the tire compounds, because Giovedar had a beautiful start on those softs. He's the only one on softs. Everyone else is on mediums, apart from Phantom Fox and Scarfax starting on the hards. So Giovedar is really trying to push as much as possible on his first stint, and that's why he had a beautiful start. Those mediums could not match the softs on pure traction, on pure grip on the starting grid. So lap 2 is now underway and DRS is enabled. Let's see, does PC Willy still have a chance, because he's using a lot of slip sim on the straight, but not really enough to make a move. But always in Scarfax actually Guga River and always are very close. But PC Willy and Giovedar, PC Willy has overtaken Giovedar. What happened? I've completely missed that. PC Willy must have had a beautiful run on Giovedar as he overtook him probably at the exit of Tamburello. Edwin is into the pit to change his front wing. Gugarivir is going very slowly. I think he might have made a mistake somewhere, an oversteer or something. I'm not really sure. But look at that. PC Willy is gapping Giovedar all of a sudden. 8 tenths is separating the Red Bull driver from the Alpine driver in the lead. Those softs are supposed to be much faster than those mediums, but they're just not holding on at all. PC Willy somehow has found a lot of pace just in the second lap, and he now has a chance to try and gap Giovedar as much as possible. If the giants behind keep battling with Giovedar, this could be a chance for PC Willy to gap the rest of the field, go out of DRS, and to extend his lead as much as possible. So he needs to use these first laps as much as possible, but Giovedar still has DRS on the main straight as we start lap 3. PC Willy sets the fastest lap with a 17.9 on those minutes. Giovedar really needs to push to stay into that gap. Scarfax and always still battling for position as Scarfax goes past up into P11. Jonathan and Bacic as well exchanging positions with the DRS on the main straight, and now Jonathan up into the points in P9, and so is Bacic in P10. 1 point at the moment for the Ferrari driver, but Edwin had to pit for the front wing to be changed, and he's on softs. I'm not sure why would you go for softs. The only thing the only explainable strategy, I would say, is that if you're gambling for a safety car, maybe he's gambling for a safety car to come out as soon as possible, and so he wants to push on the softs as of now. And there we go, Jonathan has already a 3-second time penalty. We've described how easy it is to go beyond track limits, and Jonathan is the first victim in the race to get that infamous 3-second time penalty that will be added to his time at the end of the race. And you do not want to be close to any cars at all if you have the penalty, especially if you have a last safety car, a very late safety car. you have a lot of cars close to you, and if you get a penalty, you just drop down the order so much. But many drivers now are setting the fastest lap on all sorts of compounds. Scafex all of a sudden has the fastest lap. Givodar gets a penalty. We have the second driver with a track limits penalties, but now it is Givodar fighting for the win. Eddie now has a penalty. He's driving by himself, and he still got a penalty. But Givodar, he was in the fight for the win just up until a few laps ago. Started on pole position and a very, very good start. But since lap 2, ever since Pisuidi overtook him, he's just feeling the pressure, and now he has a penalty as well. So now this puts Alex in a probably race-winning position, and Cucco could even do that, and in a worst-case scenario, fight for the podium. Sully and Jeremy, they're gonna have to push a little bit more, and Edwin got yet another penalty. Jonathan yet another penalty. Already on lap 4, we have a total of 15 seconds penalties between all drivers. What do you see that? Yes, 6, 6 and 3. 15 seconds in total after 4 laps. Great. Alex is very close to Givodar. He's really chasing him to try and get that P2, but Givodar is also very close. Will he go for a move down the inside of turn 1, or actually turn 2? Yes, he goes on the inside and claims the position, but does Pisuidi have the run on him, maybe for a switchback? He now has the inside line for Variante Villeneuve, but he actually stays back in line. So Givodar is now leading, and Alex almost rear-ends Pisuidi through that chicane, that part of the track. But we have a beautiful train from P1 to P8. They are all within tenths of each other. Now Jeremy has maybe a run on Cucco. He's trying to find a gap somewhere, left and right, to try and get past Williams. He knows he can attack Alex, so he needs to get past Cucco as soon as possible. He cannot lose that much time to him. So let's see, he's still trying to set up a move to happen somewhere, trying to overtake him. Maybe if he has a better run out of the chicane. Does he have a better run? I don't think so, because they are still very, very close to each other. But Givodar is selling it? What happened? Did Pisuidi suddenly Givodar? I think Givodar might have locked his rears. I'm not really sure, but Pisuidi all of a sudden has retaken race lead, and Edwin is on the intermediate tires for some reason. But now Givodar is being overtaken by Alex as well. He's being attacked by all of the drivers that have DRS. Edwin just going out of the way on those inters and cutting some grass. And now he's being lapped by everyone. Absolutely a masterclass from Edwin, I have to say. His best performance of the season, as Givodar has a massive oversteer. Those softs are not holding on at all. They are losing grip extremely quick. Givodar has dropped down to P7. It was not a good idea to start on the softs. Those mediums just seem to have a lot more grip, and those softs, they're either overheating so much, or they just have too much tire already. After 5 laps and a half, and he goes round. Givodar spins on his own at Acque Minerali. Those softs have no grip at all, and he was in a beautiful position to fight for the win, and he has dropped it completely. He has dropped it completely. Was the fastest man in qualifying, and then race day came, and he lost all of that confidence and all of that grip and all of that spirit to try and fight for the win down in pit 12. It's really a shame for Givodar. So now this puts Pisuidi in a fight for the lead of the race between Alex and, at the moment, Jeremy. Jeremy has overtaken Cucco. Givodar, I think he is retiring. Yes, he has retired into the pits, and Edwin is just spinning on his own. So now Alex, he could actually fight for the race win. Coming back on the game just a few weeks ago, he raced a lot on F1 22, he barely raced on F1 23, if he ever raced, came back on 24, at the Singapore Grand Prix. I think it was round number 6 or 7 of the season, maybe even 5. So he joined off season, and all of a sudden, when the two championship contenders are not racing, Alex is actually a contender for the race win. Pisuidi versus Alex versus Jeremy probably as well. Cucco has a penalty as well. 3 seconds will be added to the Williams driver time. And Jonathan just stacking so many penalties as much as he can. Edwin is getting lapped for a second time. Just parking his car on the gravel, letting everyone through. Now Phantom has the run on Sully, maybe even Kuko. Is he gonna go for a double overtake with EBS? Yes, he is. He overtakes two cars once, but oh, look out, there is a Williams into the wall. Kuko is crashed into the wall, and it's a safety car. Safety car out on track. Alex is a penalty in the lead of the race, but Kuko has been pushed into the wall on the right hand side. The safety car has been brought out, and that Williams is absolutely shattered into the wall. That's the end of the race for Kuko at his home Grand Prix in Italy, here in Imola, and that is such a shame. There was so much fighting in the midfield. He was getting overtaken by so many cars all at once, and eventually it was too much, and he got sent into the wall. Safety car is out, the race has been neutralized, and Alex is in the lead of the race, but crucially he got a penalty, so he's not anymore in this position to fight for the race win anymore, unless the other drivers get a penalty. But now strategies are interesting in the case of Phantom Fox and Scafex. If you're on the medium, you go on the hard. Point. Like, period. There's nothing else you can do. If you're on the hard, what do? That's the dilemma. To be honest, I'm not sure about the tire. How many laps can the medium hold on for? Same goes for the hards, I don't really know. So I can't really predict if the hard runners will stay out or go with the mediums to the end. Phantom Fox is staying out. Scafex, she's staying out as well. What they're doing, I think, is they're gambling for another safety car. Hopefully they can pit for mediums when another safety car comes, and hopefully everyone else pits for mediums so they don't lose many positions. But this has made everything a lot more interesting all of a sudden. The two hard runners on 8 laps old hards are now in the race lead. Jonathan, he just stayed out on 8 laps old mediums with probably 15 minutes of penalties, and he's still in P3, staying out on the safety car. How many penalties does he have? 9 seconds, and he stays... Velika strategy, I guess. And this might actually be a problem for Alex, but for Pits Willy even more, because like effectively Pits Willy is leading the race, but on track he has 4 cars ahead of him, one of them all in different sorts of situations. Alex, he's on the same strategy, but he has a penalty, so Pits Willy doesn't have to overtake him, or if he overtakes him he doesn't have to push as much. Jonathan has old mediums and a penalty, many penalties. Phantom Fox and Scafex have all the hards, so for one reason or another, the drivers ahead of PC Willy could or should go slower. So PC Willy, he's gonna have to find his way through traffic to get back into the actual P1 on track. Oh, Jonathan is pitted, never mind. Wasn't paying attention for a second. Jonathan pitted for hard, so yeah. But anyway, I'm still not 100% sure about Phantom Fox and Scafex's plan on those old hards. But for sure they're gonna at least try to somewhat defend their position. Now we can see all the drivers going around Sosa. Through Piratella. Ah, this shot is beautiful. The overview shots in commentary, they are always the best shots you could ask for when commentating a race. You just see all the cars from above going around the racetrack. Well, now he's under safety car, but you still get the feeling. There is a lot of smoke through there just before the chicane. Safety car is in this lap. Phantom Fox will lead the restart here in Imola on those 9, soon to be 10 laps all the hard. Scarfax on the same situation as him. Alex better tire but a penalty. PC Willy will have to push just as the race restarts. Sally get a penalty. Sally gets a penalty for track limits under safety car. I mean, I get that it's easy to get track limits, but this is under safety car. Anyway, Phantom Fox has restarted the race, and he's now still defending this position, but all the cars behind are gonna have a massive run with the slipstream. Guga River overtaken always. The Mercedes of Jeremy slightly going onto the gas, but they all maintain position through this first lap. And Phantom Fox is gapping Scarfax massively. Justin gets yet another penalty. Alex, is he trying to find a gap? Maybe for a switchback at the exit of Valente Villeneuve, maybe on the inside of Tosa. Does he go on the inside? No, that was very close. Just backed out at the last possible moment. Now PC Willy, he sees that Alex is losing time to try and do this dummy overtakes. He cannot be behind him for too long, because otherwise Jeremy will eventually overtake him. So PC Willy really needs to push the throttle as much as possible and try and overtake him. But Phantom Fox, as of now, he has done a good job to defend the position. Jonathan and Axonic have just dropped down the order. I mean, they all lost the DRS to the cars ahead. Sully, I have no idea how he got the track limits penalty under safety car. Like, maybe he was weaving to warm up the tires around the penultimate corner or the last corner. Maybe got too wide on the right. It still looks very strange. DRS is enabled, but it will not be enabled on this straight, so we'll still have to wait for the next lap. But now Phantom Fox is gonna get overtaken by both Scarfax and Alex. Phantom Fox just down to third. Many overtakes happening here at the Variante Tamburello. Guga River, another driver falling victim of the track limits penalty. But now Phantom Fox has dropped down to P3. Scarfax is in the leader race. Phantom Fox now gets a penalty, and PC Willy will try to overtake him. They almost go 3 wide through Sosa. PC Willy is on the outside. It's a beautiful move from PC Willy in the Alpine, overtaking Aston Martin of Phantom Fox. And now he's in P3. Now does Jeremy have the run on the Aston Martin? Yes, he has, but they make contact. They still keep it on track. But Phantom Fox, he's really feeling the tower on those halves. He has now dropped down to 6th, as Sully has overtook him on the inside of Acqua Minerali. So that tower is really kicking in and really dropping him lots of places. The Mercedes is going wide. The two Mercedes drivers are exchanging positions. Sully overtakes his teammate. Are they fighting for position through Rivazza? Sully stays ahead. I think Jeremy has backed out, and Phantom Fox is not gonna have exactly a chance to overtake him. He just needs to defend from Sean Mull behind, who is gonna try and push to overtake him. But now Scarfax is defending the lead of the race. Now Jeremy overtakes his teammate, and he has lost the DRS to the cars ahead. Now Alex goes for the lead of the race. PC Willy and Scarfax, the two Alpine teammates, exchanging positions. Scarfax, I think he broke extremely late or something, because he just dropped down so quickly. And PC Willy now is just a few meters behind the car of Alex. Barely 2 tenths separating the two of them. Bazooka and Guga River now fighting wheel to wheel through Tosa, going uphill. It looks like Bazooka has a head, but Guga River, I think, has a better run. Yes, he goes back on the normal racing line. There's a Mercedes going sideways. I think it's Sully with a massive oversteer through Piratella, and he drops down to 7th as Sean Moore and Phantom Fox re-overtake him. So now Sean has a chance to overtake Phantom, and once he overtakes Phantom, he can try and push to get back into the RS of the cars ahead, because as of now we got a train from P1 to P4 only. Sully and Guga River as well. Sully now dropping down to 8th. So many position changes happening so quickly, and we're not even half through the race. We just lap 13 out of 32. Lap 16 will be the first half. and many overtakes are happening on the main straight. Let's see if PC Willy is gonna go back for the lead of the race. I don't think he is. He's way too far, but now Sean is overtaking Panzerbox, so the Aston Martin driver down into 6th place and Sully down into 9th. He's now being attacked by Bazooka, who is now attacking Guga even ahead, and he's not really far, to be honest, so he still has a chance of overtaking and go up into the points, but now Sully, he hangs it around the outside of Tosa. Does he have the run? Doesn't look like. He stays in 9th. That was a bold overtake, I have to say. Very, very courageous, very brave around the outside, but if there's no grip, there's not much you can do. Always going slightly wide, slightly off track, and but now Sully and Bazooka are fighting once again, and Sully reclaims P8, and they are hoping that this battling is not costing them too much time from the cars ahead. Now Sean, he has a chance of recovering up into P4, at least to get back into the DRS range, because Jeremy, Scafix, basically these guys will definitely keep fighting, so Sean has quite a chance of being back into the 1 second range. Now PC Willy surely is gonna have the run. He has DRS, he deploys the battery as much as possible. PC Willy back into the lead of the race. Scafex and Jeremy, are they fighting for position? Scafex is on the inside, Jeremy hangs it around the outside of the first corner. It's a beautiful move from Jeremy. Hangs it around the outside, no contact made, just so much speed through that line, and he's now up into P3 and into the podium. But Scafex could still claim a podium if he stays inside those 3 seconds of Alex, and Alex, he is definitely hoping that PC Willy, Jeremy, Scafex, all of the other drivers will get a track limits penalties as soon as possible, because they will put him back into a race winning position. But at the moment it is PC Willy ahead, and he doesn't need to push that much unless Jeremy is right behind him, because he definitely needs to avoid getting a track limits penalties. And just as I say that, Jonathan gets, I think, 15 seconds as of now. 18 seconds. Wow, 18 seconds, it's 18 warnings. He has gone over the white line 18 times. I get that it's easy, but I didn't mean it was that easy. Now Alex and Jeremy, they both have DRS, so they both have a very, very good run on PC Willy on the straight. Do they go almost a 3 wide? Jeremy trying to find a gap somewhere, but PC Willy drops down to 3rd. Jeremy overtaken as well. And PC Willy is saving battery. So is Jeremy at the moment. I think now he's just gonna chase him, just try and stay close. It's not really the safest of opportunities to overtake around here, around Piratelle, Neanco Minerali, Variante Alta, etc. Like Sector 2. Sector 2 as a whole, like you overtake if it's just an emergency situation, sort of. I don't know how can I explain that, but you don't actively try to overtake, you just try to overtake if something ahead of you happens and the cars go slowly. So yeah, just saving the energy, saving the pace and the tires for the overtakes to happen on the main straight, which is much easier, much safer. And let's see now, Sean is back in DRS. Does he have DRS? He does not. He is just barely inside the 1 second gap. He's very close, but he does not have DRS on this lap. Alex is defending, and PC Willy has to brake extremely late because Jeremy cannot get past Alex. He was defending his position through the first corner, so they all stay where they are as of now. It's looking like a double Alpine podium at the moment, if none of them get a penalty, or if Alex just doesn't gap them. Now Sean is 1.2 seconds. He's still trying to push to get closer to Scafex, but Guga he's really pushing and he's still staying very, very close to him. I think Shamul still lost the arrest. Well, yeah, the detection point was much earlier than that. Do we see any overtakes happen? Jeremy overtakes Alex for the lead. That's the only thing we will get. Actually, Guga River overtakes Shamul as well just before the first corner. And now Jonathan, well actually Phantom Fox is fighting with Jonathan as Jonathan now gets 21 seconds of penalty. That's a pit stop worth of penalties, Jonathan. That's a pit stop worth of penalties. Like, if he finishes the race on those tires, his position will drop down like if he had an extra pit stop, but without having the fresher tires. Now Alex has another penalty. Now it's 6 seconds for this Albert driver, and that just screws him up even more. Was down to 3 seconds earlier. Still a chance if he kept his cool, and if other drivers lost their cool, there was still a chance for Alex, but now 6 seconds. He's really gonna drop. So this Alpine podium looks like it's actually happening at the moment. Well, it is, to be fair, it is still quite early to try and predict the results with the penalties. We'll still try, because at the moment Jeremy will win the race. PC Williams Carfax will be P2 and 3. And Sean will be 4th. Because, yeah, he's definitely dropping behind Alex. Now Phantom Fox is a penalty. We have yellow flags. Do we have a crash? Sully ghosting and going very slowly through Tamburello. Was he battling? I'm not sure what happened. His car looks intact, so there's no crash or whatever. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he went onto the gravel for a short period of time. But he has dropped down to P10. And that's really not what he wants for his home race. I mean, the two Italian drivers, so one of them has crashed and the other has a lot of penalties and just dropped down the other so much down in P11. And probably might not score points. So yeah, and Ferrari as well, not doing great either, down in P10. For V-Carb, they both have penalties, except Guga River has 3, I think, and Jonathan has 21. Oh, Jeremy got a penalty! We have another front runner with a track limits penalty! Could this actually be an Alpine 1-2 all of a sudden? 12 laps left to go, and the two Alpine drivers are living their dream as of now. Question is, who will win? Well, it should be PC Willie because he has fresher tires than Scarfax, so it should be much faster. Now Jonathan stacks his penalties even more and goes up to 24. Phantom Fox is into the pits, going for the mediums. I think it's just attempting the fastest lap. There's not really any viable strategy to gain places back. I think at this stage, PC with the Scarfax, they just need to bring it home. They don't need to take any unnecessary risks. They don't need to abuse the track limits to push the cars and maintain the pace. Alex has now 9 seconds. These positions are gonna get changed so much because of those penalties. I mean, Jonathan is 21, Alex has 9, Jeremy Bell got 3. But actually, what I am seeing now is Jeremy pushing like a madman, dropping out of DRS of Alex. And if he maintains 3 seconds and somehow finds more space, or maybe even Alex slow down PC Willie a lot, and PC Willie cannot get past, all of a sudden, if I can see Jeremy gaining 2 seconds over the course of 10 laps, 11 laps, he could still defend the race win. If something happens to PC Willie or Scarfax, he could still defend the race win. Look at that, he is pushing so much. Now it's 1.6 seconds. Just after a few corners. And PC Willie knows this. He can see the gap on his minimap on his screen. He knows just how fast Jeremy is pushing. Look at that, 1.8 seconds. Peace Willie will not be happy about being stuck behind Alex for so long. Now it's 1.9 all of a sudden. It might go up to 2.2 after Rivazza. Let's see. Jeremy pushing like a madman. Willie set another fastest lap. He had the fastest lap as of now. Willie sets another one. I think he might. Oh, he actually doesn't. But now, okay, PC Willie has the RS. He overtakes Alex on the straight. Now the gap is 1.7, 6, 5, 5 or 6. 6. 1.6 seconds. And this is crucial. PC Willie does not have DRS. Gaining time on Jeremy will be very, very hard. Especially if PC Willie keeps being fought with the DRS on the straight. If he keeps being attacked, he just keeps losing a lot more time. Jeremy still has a chance of a race win here. His teammate, absolutely not, because he has now 6 seconds of penalties. P10 on track and will drop down. Well, yeah, he should actually stay P10, maybe even P9, because Jonathan has 11 hours of penalties as of now. Oh, and Alex now takes 12 seconds, and Scafex gets 3. PC with his teammate. Okay, Alpine 1-2 might not happen anymore, but I just need to check those penalties and the leader, because penalties just keep coming in so quickly. I just need to... Scafex goes into the pits? What? Scafex goes into the pits on his... Well, those hards were very old. 22 laps. Maybe he thought he couldn't push for 10 more laps? I guess Scafex wasn't able to push on those hards anymore. I mean, the hards are designed to last pretty much the entire race distance. Again, I'm not really sure about how the tire works around here, around Imola. I haven't done the testing yet. But apparently 22 laps were a bit too much. I mean, unless if he got a puncture or something on those hards, I would have probably gone to the end, because look at just how many penalties are coming in. You could just have a high finishing position no matter your tires, because of so many penalties. So yeah. Now PC Willie does not look comfortable in that position. 2.7 seconds. Jeremy, he's pulling away as much as he possibly can, and PC Willie, he's not being helped either by Alex, who overtakes him with the RS. And if he cannot get past, if he keeps losing time to Alex, that might be his chance of a race win over. He needs to manage his situation with Alex beautifully if he wants to stay inside those 3 seconds. It is absolutely not guaranteed. He actually goes past, and I don't think he lost too much time there. He didn't lose time at all. Just went in on the outside very cleanly. Didn't compromise his line or speed that much. But he's still barely inside that gap. 2.8 seconds. I mean, if he knows that Jeremy is pushing this hard to maintain this gap and try and win this race, he's hoping that Jeremy gets another penalty. And at the same time, PC Willie needs to be careful to not get any other penalty. But now, he's officially out of the gap, 3.1. I'm not sure if he's saving energy or something, is he? Well, he's on none, but he doesn't have a lot of battery either. Let me see how many warnings do they have. Well, Jeremy has, let's see, 2, 3, I think only 3, no, wait, he has 5. Why does he say 2 warnings? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 warnings for Jeremy. PC Willie, on the other hand, has 1, 2, 2. They are both very much borderline. Jeremy is one track limit warning away from losing the race. And PC Willie is one track limit warning away from losing the chance to win, maybe. But he's definitely still hoping that Jeremy gets another warning, because only one more and PC Willie is immediately back into the fight for this race win. Look at that now, Phantom Fox and Action Rake fighting for P11. Fighting for the non-points finishing positions. Sean with a good deliver as well. Just before the first corner, so just a DRS for its sake. Always and Jonathan battling as always. Gets past Jonathan with his 24 seconds of penalty. Jonathan, he will drop down to last. He will drop down behind Action Rick. And in 27, he got this. I'm so sorry. I should not be laughing at this, but mate. 27 seconds of penalties. He got disqualified for too many track limits penalties. That was hilarious, man. That is absolutely hilarious. Alex, don't get disqualified too, because you have 15 seconds now. If you get 15 more, you might get disqualified too. What a performance from Jonathan, truly one of his best drives. I mean, he crashed into the wall where Ayrton Senna died in qualifying, and he got disqualified for too many track limits penalties in the race. Absolutely brilliant performance in the whole weekend. Just congratulations, a drive of a champion. A drive of a champion, well done. Let's go back to the serious stuff. Pete Willie is nowhere near being far than Jeremy. He's very, very close. Just a tenth and a half. It is not over yet. There is an Aston Martin Phantom Fox with a damaged front wing crashing on the same wall of Ayrton Senna. A little bit behind, but still in the same wall. With a very damaged front wing. I think he just barely has a piece of carbon fiber on his nose. Yeah. Just no flaps, no end plates, just a plain horizontal piece of carbon fiber on the car. Brilliant. Now PCVD has dropped down a few tenths. Now it's 3.4. Like, he needs to use the DRS situation with Alex strategically, because he needs to know when is it wise to maybe even let him pass, so that he has DRS and he can gain. Now there is a Mercedes on the track. It is Sully. Does he have damage? I didn't really see. I think he has, yes, he's missing the right end plate. It could not be going worse for the two Italian drivers in here. One of them out of the points, one of them just crashed into the wall. Now Scafex as well though. 6 seconds. Like, let's count. How many seconds of penalties do we have in total, including the 27 from Jonathan? We have 27, then we have 30, 45, 54, 1 minute, 1 minute and 6, 1 minute and 12 seconds of penalties across all drivers in the entire race. Actually, I don't even remember if Cucco, Givodar and Edwin had penalties. I think Edwin had penalties, yes. So it's even more than 1 minute and 12 seconds. Brilliant. 4 laps left to go, and PC Willy, he just keeps going back and forth, being inside that gap and being outside that gap of those 3 seconds. Really, you cannot predict if he's gonna win this race or not. Now Sully gets his front wing change, goes on the softs, and at least tries to clean the fastest lap. Like probably the only achievement he could get out of this race, out of his home race. Should have gone a lot better, could have gone a lot better, but it's a shame. But there's still Division 2 for that we will see next week on Wednesday. So 29 out of 32. Gap is 3.6. Now it's lap 30. He has been very slowly saving energy. But that might also be the factor of why he slowed down so much. Not so sure, to be honest. But it looks like he's slightly pushing. I think what he's doing, I think he's very strategically saving energy during these laps. Phantom Fox is into the wall again. Well, not into the wall, but off track and onto the grass. But in the same spot as earlier. I was saying, PC Willy is very strategically saving his energy. He's recharging the battery to then try and deploy as much as possible on the last lap. Thing is, Jeremy might just do the same. Or is he actually? He deployed a lot, and it doesn't look like he's saving that much. I mean, if Jeremy doesn't respond to PC Willy deploying the battery on the last lap, he might be in trouble. If he uses the battery now, he will not have enough. It will just be too slow for PC Willy, because PC Willy will push at the absolute limit, and Jeremy will just be too slow. But I guess we will see that on the last lap. In the meanwhile, we got this very little fight between Guga River and Sharmul. Also, who is that? Phantom Fox and Action Rick. And actually, Sully and Phantom Fox got lapped. I didn't realize. .8 seconds. I think Jeremy, he's just deploying as much as possible now, and PC Willy will deploy as much as possible on the last lap. It definitely does look like it, but he needs to hurry. 3.9 seconds. At this stage, he's gonna have to gain 1 second on Jeremy. This will be a qualifying challenge to the line to see who is gonna win this race. We are gonna see 2 drivers push to the absolute limit as if it was qualifying to see which one of these 2 is gonna win the Imola Grand Prix. Jeremy has absolutely no energy at all, and PC Willy is not even deploying that much through the straight, so the gap is still 3.9 seconds. Is Jeremy recharging? Not so much. Is PC Willy deploying? He's definitely deploying after this one. He has hot lap enabled. Now he has 8 tenths to gain mainly through sector 2. Jeremy is just trying to push with whatever energy he has left into the battery, and PC Willy absolutely to the limit, but he only gained about a tenth through Tosa. Just barely a tenth through Piratella, and now through Alcminerale. I think it might not be enough. The gap is still staying 3.5 seconds. It's not going down fast enough for PC Willy to go back into the 3 seconds gap. I think it might be done. If Jeremy has a good exit, and he does indeed have a good exit out of the Variante Alta, I think that might be it. PC Willy was on charge to win this race here in Imola, but Jeremy has outsmarted him. Despite the penalty, he has succeeded in building a gap and maintaining a gap, and Jeremy wins the Imola Grand Prix with a beautiful performance. Even with that penalty, it was not enough. PC Willy will only have to finish in P2, and Alex, despite his massive penalty amount, no, he actually out to the podium, no! Shamul frauds a P3 out of nowhere. And Alex drops down to 4th because of the penalties. Always gets P5. I don't think Always had any penalties. He was one of the most consistent drivers in the penalties. I think he had 0 seconds, yes. He has been maintaining like a very, very good level of consistency lately in the last races. Like I remember Monaco always just getting so many places because he didn't get track limit penalties and he didn't crash into the wall. And he finished, I think, P5 too. So yeah, I love always consistency, and it's a very deserved P5. Scarfax is in P6, Guga River in P7, Bazooka in P8, Acturik in P9, Sully in P10. I think he has the point for the fastest lap. Fancy Fox is out to the points. And that's it. That's the Imola Grand Prix, and it's Jeremy. The two main contenders for the championship, the two German contenders for the championship are not racing tonight, but when they're not racing, the other German is able to fight for wins and to actually claim those wins. So it's a very, very deserved 25 full points for Jeremy, for the Mercedes driver. He stands on the top of the podium. Again, a brilliant performance in just maintaining that gap with those track limit penalties. He looked over, to be honest, in the first, maybe not first, but half, like between the first and the second half of the race. It looked like Jeremy was gonna drop down, but that traffic behind him actually helped him a lot, and PC Willie was not able to manage that good enough, so he actually stayed in P2, only 3 tenths away. But it's Jeremy with a very deserved race win. So very good job, 25 points for the Mercedes driver, and PC Willie brings the Alpine up into second place. They were hoping for an Alpine 1-2 at some moments. I was hoping somewhat for an Alpine 1-2 at some moments, but it wasn't meant to be. So it's actually Shamul in Williams from 4th to 3rd, and Alex from 3rd to 4th. Always, again, with a very, very deserved P5. Scarfax as well. He recovered from P14, let's not forget that. I forgot that, to be honest, but the game doesn't. So from 14 to 6th, and then Guga River in 7th, Bazooka in 8th, Actunik 2 points in P9, and Sully in P10 with 1 point. Fancy Fox will have another point for the fastest lap. All of the other drivers are DNF'd, retired, except for Jonathan, who, let's remember, got disqualified for 27 seconds of track limits penalties. Beautiful, just F1 total heritage, to be honest. So yeah, an exciting race, and Imola will be back on Division 2 on Wednesday at the same start time. But now, we've seen Jeremy gain those 25 points, but next week in Brazil, we will have the finale of this season, the second season of F1 24 for season 15, and Felix will have to gain 13 points. 13 in only one race. It will be a very, very difficult task. Sadly, I already know I will not be able to commentate Brazil next week, so it's a shame. I really wanted to watch that. I just know I 100% won't be there, sadly. So we will need to sort it out. If we can find another commentator, we will see in the following week, and hopefully we can get that commentated, because we will see the first 5-time world champion in F1 Total. We do not want to miss that, so we will try and find a commentator for that. But until then, we will see you for the Wednesday race, for the Division 2 race in Imola, and then hopefully Brazil next week in Division 1. So thank you for watching tonight's race. I'm Base Gabri, and well, I will see you next season, so starting from February, the last week of February. So will be a break for me, but yeah, I will see you back in season 16, and hopefully we can get another commentator for the finale of season 15. So again, thank you for watching tonight's race. Have a good rest of the evening, and we will see you next week for Division 2 at least. Bye bye.